Hey, it's Michael Kosta. This is the Tennis Anyone podcast. How are you? It is Tuesday, October 1st. I've had a nice slow morning. Tonight, I'll be hosting The Daily Show live. Tomorrow, not live. Thursday, live. I mean, it's always a live. Well, it's taped live. Does that make sense? We don't ever... The show is taped live in front of a studio audience. If everything goes perfectly, that's the exact same show you see. Often we go fat, so we cut a couple things. The interview, as you know, you can watch on YouTube much longer. But tonight, because we're live, that interview will have to be shorter. And live is fun. Live is live. If I fuck up, it's going to be live. If the prompter breaks, it's going to be live. If the guest says, fuck you, Kosta, I've always hated you, it's live. Tonight's guest, Paola Ramos. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm holding up the book right now. It's called Defectors, The Rise of the Latino Far Right and What It Means for America. This is not a book I would typically pick up because I don't know a whole lot about the Latin community, not for a lack of appreciation or care, but you know, sometimes your community doesn't always match up and connect with other communities. But this is what's fun about this job is I would typically have not purchased this book, but because I'm talking to Paola Ramos today, I learned a lot. I'm a better person for it, and holy shit, I wouldn't have thought that members of the Latin community who have emigrated to the United States, both legally and illegally, would vote for Donald Trump. But a lot, I shouldn't say a lot of them, I shouldn't speak for them, but in 2016, 30% voted for Trump. In 2020, 38%. It's a lot of discussion about authoritarian rule, about strong man, tribalism, trauma, which I'm so thankful she touched on because I talked to a lot of different people working at The Daily Show. Conspiracy theorists, pet psychics, water witches, haunted house realtors, book banners, Latin community experts, and it just so often, and let's all talk about this with ourselves. So often when you dig into somebody, you find some trauma, and simple answers, simple explanations feel good. Unfortunately, life is complicated, and there's gray area, and things aren't black and white. But to say, build a wall, to say, I did it the right way, they're doing it the wrong way, those are all simplifications, and I just remembered something I had to do, and I thought of that because the person that I need to connect with is always telling me that life, there's a lot of different answers all the time happening. It's not that simple. Build a wall, yes, no. It's complicated. But when you have trauma, you sometimes are looking for simple answers to explain the unexpected, the disappointed, the unpredictable nature of life. And so people often go to, they're trying to replace us. The vaccine is doing this. Simple answers that make us feel more comfortable because this is a complicated, multifaceted, layered world, and we can't always wrap our head around it all. Why is it that I was just born in North America and this person was born in Guatemala and I just have so many more privileges and such an advantage? Is that, it probably is just fucking luck. You know, I've always liked the idea that there's aliens out there. I've always liked the idea that there's so many solar systems and other galaxies, and certainly there must be, based on just numbers alone, there must be other living organisms in the universe. But I also like that maybe, just maybe, we are lucky, and maybe, just maybe, Goldilocks effect, Only Earth is the perfect temperature with hydrogen and oxygen and carbon and all this stuff that can support life. Maybe, just maybe, we are the only one. I like that too. Both of those things intrigue me. We'll get to some tennis. Naomi Osaka, Coco Gauff are playing right now in Beijing. I think they just split sets. If I was Coco Gauff, I would take 4 months off and figure out some stuff. I wouldn't keep competing. Looks like Coco Gauff. What happened? They split sets and now she's on a. She has a microphone? What? Where's my remote? She split sets. She lost the first set. She won the second. And now she's being interviewed? Advances to quarterfinal. Oh, no. I wonder if Naomi Osaka pulled out with an injury. That probably is what happened. Anyways, we're watching live, but I'm looking here at you. The show is on YouTube. Don't forget, Tennis Anyone. Thank you for leaving your ratings and reviews. We have women are in China, Beijing Open. What else is happening? Hong Kong 125. The China is a WTA 1000. Let's look at this draw real quick. Draw. Where's the draw? Coco Gauff advances to quarterfinals. She just beat Naomi Osaka, who retired. I missed them. Sitting right here, and I missed it. Other big, Badosa beat Pegula 4-0. It's not showing me draw. It's just showing me day. And let me go to draw. Here we go. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Round of 16, Sabalenka Keys, Buska Muchova, Lynette Andreeva, Anisimova, Zhang, Starobzubseva, Kalinskaya, Osaka Gauff, Zhang Freck, Badosa Pegula. So they're in the quarterfinals right now. All right. Good job, Michael. You have been focused so much on your day job of The Daily Show that you forgot how to pronounce every tennis player's name. Men, tournaments. We had Laver Cup. I think it was a success. It seemed like it was close. Next year it's in San Francisco. I told you I ate an edible and I tried to watch the Davis Cup and it didn't go well. I fell asleep. I couldn't figure out who was playing who. I didn't know why it was called the finals when it wasn't the finals. The Rolex Shanghai Masters is coming up October 2nd. Right now we have the China Open, which the finals should be tomorrow. Jannik Sinner versus Alcaraz. That's pretty nice. Medvedev lost to Alcaraz 5-3. Interesting in the semifinals. And a wild card, a Chinese wild card named Bu, lost to Sinner 6-3 in the semis. Who the hell is this guy? Let's hear how he says his name. Bu Yenchakete. Bu Yenchakete. I'm not going to say he says it backwards. I'm going to say we say it from left to right. They say it from right to left. Or is it because it's China, their right is their left and the left is the right? And in Australia, it flushes the other direction. 96 in the world, $265,000 this year. Bu Yenchakete. Isn't the world amazing that language is the same? That human speaks a language and I am a human and I speak a language and they sound so different, and yet we could communicate with each other. We could serve each other food and hold our hearts and say love and hate. We could punch each other. Isn't it wild? You know, when you have a baby, you realize that it's just sounds. We, the English-speaking language, have just all agreed on a certain allotment of sounds. And Bu Yenchakete has also agreed on we don't even have a choice, do we? But it's just sounds. When I make my baby say thank you and she goes, thank you, she's just mimicking the sound. She doesn't know what fucking thank you means. And it's so silly, but we all agree on this stuff. And I want her to say this sound, which means thank you or thanks for getting me yogurt. The other tournament is in Japan, and it was just won by Fils, the Frenchman. Archafis. He beat Humbert, another Frenchman. Hugo Humbert. 6-3 in the third. The semifinal was Fils Rune, who lost 6-6. Wow, he lost 6-6, and the breakers were 10-8 and 12-10. That sucks. And then this Czech guy whose name I can never say, Tomas Mahach. So that was a 500. China was a 500. Coming up next is the Rolex Shanghai Masters 1000. That is October 2nd to October 13th. Then we have the Rolex Paris Masters, October 28th to November 3rd. Then we have Davis Cup Finals. Then we have the end of the year, Nito, whatever. All right. So 2 weeks ago, I blew out my back again. It had been about a year since last time. A lot of you sent me some nice things when that happened. People sent me some stretching, and people had ideas and doctors, which was super helpful. Although, if I recall, the doctor that one of you sent me, who was up here in the Upper West Side, there was like a 7-month waiting list, you know? And I'm not mad at our listener who sent me the doctor. That couldn't be more kind and generous. I'm mad at the fucking system. How is that? Like my dentist even. If I don't respond to my dentist instantaneously, I'll call them a month later and say, hey, I'm out of the loop, but I need an appointment. It'll be like, sure, what are you doing February 2025? What? So I threw out my back again. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I was bending over to pick up my dog's bed, and I just went down. It was after a bad night's sleep, too many living items and things in my bed, sleeping on the side, shitty mattress, about a year from the last time I'd done it. So I've taken some steps to try. It's been about 3.5 weeks now, and then I thought I was better, and I went and played golf, and I really fucked it up. Should not have done that because it sucked. Because I took a day off work. My friend took a day off work and went up to go play golf with him. And on the second hole, I was like, hey, guess what, bro? Let's go get lunch. Here are the things I am doing this time around to try to not have this back issue again. Tell me if you like them. Message me on Instagram. Tweet me, whatever. Twitter sucks now. It's such clickbait, huh? It used to be like, it used to suck also, but now it's really just clickbait. But I guess he probably felt like he had to do something to make more money. Is that what it was? If I go to Twitter right now, which I can't do because I'm recording this on my phone because it goes on YouTube now, it's just clickbait. It's like, watch Kamala this, Trump gets kicked in the nuts. Puppy dog, something, this, watch this car accident. It sucks. It's not good for your brain. It's brain rot. So this is what I'm doing this time around with my back, hoping by making a change, I can have a better back. The last time this happened, I really tackled this yoga, which I think was really helpful. But it's hard to say if anything I was doing was helpful because my back went out. Anyone who's had their back go out knows it fucking sucks. You can't stand up. You can't sit in a car. It hurts to sneeze. Picking up bait. I mean, it's hard. So these are the 4 things I'm doing this time. Number 1, before I get out of bed every morning, I'm doing a series of stretches in bed. So before I pick up the baby, before I bend over and put on my shoes, before I drop my bike helmet and I have to bend down, I'm at least hoping to figure out some blood circulation to that area. I am doing the thing that feels the best at this point, that stretches it the most, because I think it's this QL muscle, is fucking child's pose. So I'm doing child's pose, and I'm doing that thing where I lay on my back, I put my feet up, and I kind of pendulum swing them real slow. And I feel on the sides, is it like obliques? I feel the sides get some blood. I'm doing that. I'm doing child's pose. Cat cow, maybe, but it doesn't seem to really do as much for me because it feels like it's that little muscle back. So anyways, that's the first thing I'm doing every single day before I get out of bed. I heard it takes 18 days in a row to create a habit, so I'm almost there. Second thing I'm doing, I bought one of those expensive Theraguns. I'm doing that. I know it seems hokey. It does feel good. You need to do it for a minute, 2 minutes. The third thing I'm doing, I bought an inversion table. I mean, this is literally like dad shit. I spent my money on a Theragun and an inversion table, and I'm stretching all the time. And I'm doing child's pose throughout the day. The fourth thing, which I've not started, and it's because these other things I feel like are maybe loosening muscles, stretching muscles. The inversion table feels really good. Where do you put it? How do you store it? Is there a cover? I mean, it's a fucking mess. It's huge. I'm on my roof in Brooklyn. 100%. Hundreds of people, of neighbors, are watching this crazy man go upside down on his roof. And 100%, one or two are like, is that Michael Kosta from The Daily Show? Just hanging upside down like a bat? Yes. 100% we will see a tweet or a post or a story of like, look at this douchebag. I got to do it. My fucking back hurts. The fourth thing, which I think will probably fix it, is I got to tackle Pilates, dude. I love Orange Theory. I love running. I love squatting. I love the dumbbell workouts. I feel great. I like feeling sore. I don't think I'm doing enough for this area, the torso. And everyone I talk to is like alignment, abs, small muscles, balance. So I'm tackling Pilates. I haven't done that yet. I'm giving myself a few more weeks to just heal. If you got any thoughts? Is there anything that really, really works for you? Send it in. If you like my plan, stretching before I get out of bed, Theragun, inversion table, Pilates. If you like that, say, good job, Michael. I support that. Thank you for paying attention to my back issues. But why am I sharing this? Because you're going to fucking have back issues. Because everybody's going to have back issues. So think about what I'm saying. College tennis players, guess what? When I won the Emmy, me and a bunch of people, but I was included, University of Illinois men's tennis put up a nice post. I think I reposted it. And has all these pictures of me playing tennis. And I look at it and I go, yeah, no wonder your fucking back hurts, dude. Look at this alignment. You're going full speed all the time. I'll be in Hawaii October 11 and 12 performing in Honolulu at the Blue Note Jazz Club. That'll be fun. Never been there before. Not cheap getting there. Please come out. Tickets at michaelcostas.com. Tour. Washington, D.C., November 20th. November. A Friday in November. 2 shows. Kennedy Center. Booyah. Austin, Texas got moved. And I don't know why, and I'm not digging into it, but December, I'll be in Chicago and Minneapolis, and we are moving Austin hopefully to March. It's another thing I got to remind myself to do, reach out to the people that are in charge of that. Yes. More dates coming. You are correct. A Michael Kosta book is coming out, and that was in the GQ article. More on that later. Just keep your ears and eyes peeled. It's going to be a fun one. You're going to love it. Lots of tennis in that. The vice presidential debate is tonight. We don't really give a shit. As Jon Stewart said yesterday, I've already figured out who I'm going to vote for vice president. We don't vote for vice president. We vote for the presidential ticket. Or do we vote for the party? Who knows? I had the opportunity to go to the Michigan State Legislature last week, hoping that they would introduce the National Popular Vote Bill, which they didn't, but 17 states have already passed the National Popular Vote Bill. There's a documentary that was just on PBS this Sunday night about the Electoral College and what a fucking disaster it is, and how the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact would essentially create a popular vote system, which is so overdue common sense, would benefit every American, Republicans, Democrats, independents, everybody. That means if you're a Democrat living in Texas, your vote would actually count. It would actually go towards whatever presidential candidate you wanted. If you're a Republican living in California or New York, if enough Republicans voted for the president nationwide, they could win. Super important. Right now, 5 states really matter. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Nevada, Florida's gone, Michigan, Arizona. It's too bad. It's too bad. And let's really say the too bad thing. Most of the reason that the Electoral College exists is because the South wanted slavery. And let's also say this. It was easier for people in the North to stand on their moral high ground about slavery, and the South's opinion would be, oh, yeah, you hate slavery so much. Well, how come all of our economy is in the South? And this was back then. Oh, yeah, John Adams, you don't own slaves? Cool. Well, what about that shirt you're wearing? It's made of cotton. My point is this. We fucked up with slavery. Never should have happened. Atrocious. Sad. Classic America. We did it for the money. And it really affected our documents, our Constitution, and to this day, 2024, not only all the societal and cultural and emotional damage it's done, it actually has got its ugly fingers in how we elect our president. So many things. So many things. Anyways, we could change the Constitution. Very difficult to do that. Or this really creative, intelligent, common sense bill called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Read about it if you want. It will be passed eventually. 17 states have already passed it. Will mean that we can vote. The national popular vote would determine our presidency. The forefathers didn't really want the general public to determine the presidency, which is why it's the only elected office that we don't. Okay? They didn't trust us. Okay? And also this documentary is very cool. It goes into how we got to the 3/5 compromise because there was 3 million people in the United States at the time and 700,000 slaves. So if all of those slaves were counted or were allowed to vote, that would have a big skew and help for the South. The North didn't want that. Compromise. A lot of people have said this before me, but the South really made out with that because they got representation based off slave numbers, but the slaves weren't even considered freaking citizens. They were considered property, so they couldn't vote. It's insane. This whole fucking thing is insane. Every country's history is insane. What's most important is that we're trying to do better, and I would say let's do better faster. Everyone says progress takes time. Yeah, it does. Well, let's fucking make less time. Let's do it faster. Okay? I want to thank Adidas for sending your boy some shoes. Much love, Adidas. I'll be rocking those in the Daily Show offices today for our writers meeting. I can't wear them on the show because I got to wear a suit, although a suit with shoes looks pretty dope. But with sneakers, I mean. But thank you, Adidas. Thank you, New Balance. Friends of the program. What else? I played pickleball this weekend at my brother's house this past week, and I played with his 5-year-old son, and that's the beauty of pickleball. That's the beauty. A 5-year-old can play it instantaneously. You take a 5-year-old, put him on a tennis court, it's a disaster. The ball's pressurized, the racket's too big, it goes in the other court, you got to apologize. Pickleball, holes in the ball, stupid racket. Anyone could get it over the net, and that is the barrier of entry that works for that hobby. Didn't say sport. But, you know, it is there was 5 different levels of people playing pickleball on the court, and it was fun. So there we go. That's why it exists. But I hate a hobby, quote unquote, sport where it limits the athlete's movement. It's just, there's such a ceiling to that. You run to the kitchen and then you stand there. That's not what sports are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael Kosta. This is the Tennis Anyone podcast. I got to go do a fucking live TV show on Comedy Central, a network that no one even knows where it is on their TV screen. But it'll be on YouTube and Paramount Plus the next day. And I would guess eventually it'll be live on Paramount Plus. I hope. If we're going to do a live show, shouldn't it be then live streaming? I should find that out. Maybe it is. I'll post some stuff on my Instagram. Please come see me in Hawaii. If not Hawaii, Washington, D.C. Please leave a rating and a review on this podcast. I appreciate you. Move your feet, aggressive swings, safe targets. I guess we'll talk Rolex Shanghai. But if I was a tennis player, I would take 3 months off if I made enough money and try to fix some stuff technically. That's what I would do if I was Coco. Badosa Pagula is playing right now. I would just try to... This Asian swing, I'm sure it's fun and there's money and ranking points, blah, blah, blah. But you really, 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 really need to find the time to make technical adjustments. Once you press enter on your pro career, once you enter the game, you're kind of... I don't want to say stuck with the game you have. Very hard to make changes. So, Coco Gauff, I don't know when you make technical changes if you're constantly competing. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I even felt that way in college. If you really wanted to change some stuff, it was in the summer, and that requires taking a lot of steps back. It's hard. It's very, very hard. It's more a argument to teach a child sound technique, and they can figure out competing in matches as they continue to get older. But taking a step backward to lower your swing, to lower your serve toss, or change your forehand grip, that's incredibly difficult, especially with how competitive these people are. And then you add in money, and shoe deals. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael Kosta. This is the Tennis Anyone podcast. Check us out on YouTube. Leave a rating. I love you so much. Register to vote. It's not too late. Register to vote. Watch the vice presidential candidates debate tonight. It should be interesting. They're both going to pretend to be from real America, but they are. I think J.D. Vance is much better at being confrontational and being assholey. He's got a lot of confidence. Tim Walz, though, is no slouch. He knows what he's doing. Don't forget, he's the governor, so he's debated before. Don't fall for his little nice guy thing. Hey, game, set, match. Kosta.